MIT 박사과정 재학 중인 신지라고 하고요. 발표는 영어와 한글 섞어가면서 하도록 하겠습니다. I'm Shin from MIT. I'm going to talk about my recent work titled Dynamic Markov Chain Monte Carlo and its application to media access control. In this talk, I first explain the background of Monte Carlo method and then describe how this can be applied to a real network problem called media access control problem, or MAC. MAC is one of central problems for efficient scheduling and has been extensively studied last 4 decades. However, its long history and its simplicity to describe the problem and algorithm, even a simple MAC algorithm is known as notoriously hard to analyze. In this work, we analyze and design a simple MAC algorithm using the dynamic version of Monte Carlo method. This is a joint work with my advisor, developer Shah. If you have any questions in the talk, please feel free to stop me at any point. Here is the outline of talk. At the first part of talk, I will explain the background of Monte Carlo method, describe what is sampling problem, and how this Metropolis-Hastings method can be applied to this sampling problem. And then I use this paradigm to real application MAC problem. I start with very simple and sampling question. We have 5 people here. Sampling question is how to sample or select a person uniformly at random. This is one of such naive algorithms, very trivial and simple algorithm. First, I label people with numbers from 1 to n, and then generate a random number between 1 and n, and select that number. 예를 들어서 보다 재미있는 문제를 생각해 보자면, 제가 지금 여기 제 돈 10,000원 있습니다. 이 10,000원을 이 강의실의 한 분에게 공평하게 뽑아서 드리고 싶습니다. 어떻게 해야 될까요? 일단 이 알고리즘, 나이브 알고리즘이 제시하는 알고리즘은 일단 몇 명이 계신지 제가 잘 셉니다. 아까 제가 세어봤는데 72분이 계시더라고요. 그러면 제가 1부터 72분 72 사이에 랜덤 넘버를 뽑은 다음에 그 랜덤 넘버에 해당하는 분에게 돈을 드리면 되겠죠? 어떤 불만이 계십니까? 모든 분이 불만 없게 제가 돈을 드리고 싶습니다. 제 돈이니까요. 불만 없으시겠죠? Now, this naive algorithm assumes the global information of n, total number of people in the class. Now the main question is, how can we sample using only local information? Suppose we don't know about n, we don't know about how many people are here. Only we know is following local information structure. This graph represents local information structure. Suppose if 2 people share an edge, they know each other. In this graph, Alice knows Bob and Eve, and Dave knows Eve and Carol knows Bob, Eve, Dave. But no one knows all. No one knows total number of people are here. Using this local information structure, still, uniform sampling problem can be possible using a random walk. This is very simple description for sampling algorithm using a random walk. Suppose, initially, Alice have a token or money and it passes its random neighbors. In this example, Alice has two neighbors, Bob and Eve. Alice chooses its random neighbor, Eve or Bob, and pass the token to its random neighbor Eve, suppose. Now Eve do the same thing. Eve has three neighbors. Eve chooses one of its neighbors at random. Suppose Eve chooses Carol. Carol takes the token and do the same thing. Every people continue this random procedure, but only local information. And stop at 100 rounds. And select that person at 100 rounds who possesses the token. 다시 아까 전 이그램플로 돌아가자면 제가 10,000원 있습니다. 그리고 일단 제가 이분에게 10,000원을 드리겠습니다. 이분을 아시는 분이 몇 분이나 계신가요? 이 강의실에. 예, 그럼 이분이 한, 둘, 셋, 넷, 5분이 계시죠? 예, 그럼 이분이 이 5분 중 한 명을 자기가 마음에 드는 사람을 선택해서 이 10,000원을 드립니다. 누가 마음에 드시죠? 예, 지금 이분이 그러면은 10,000원을 택했죠? 이분을 아시는 분은 몇 분 계신가요? 예, 그거에 대해서 제가 다시 얘기하겠습니다. 예, 이분이 아시는 분 또 몇 분 계시겠죠? 그럼 이분이 또 자기가 마음에 드시는 분에게 또 돈을 드립니다. 누구한테 드리실 건가요? 예, 제가 제안합니다. 10번째 돈을 가지신 분에게 제가 10,000원을 드리겠습니다. 그럼 당연히 불만이 계시겠죠? 이분 둘이 짜고 서로 5,000원씩 나눠 갖겠다고 합의를 보고 서로 둘이 왔다 갔다 할 수 있겠죠? 예, 그런 불만을 해소하기 위해서, 그런 건 저는 원하지 않습니다. 그런 불만을 해소하기 위해서 이분이 아는 분이 아까 5분이라고 하셨죠? 이분에게 공평하게 5분 중에 한 명을 선택해서 드립니다. 특정 한 명이 아니라 공평하게. 돈을 가지신 분은 또 자기가 아는 분, 10분이 계시면 10분, 20분이 계시면 20분. 공평하게 한 명을 뽑아서 드립니다. 그럼 제가 또 제안합니다. 10번째 돈을 가지신 분에게 제가 돈을 드리겠다고 제안합니다. 그럼 불만이 있을까요? 여전히 불만이 있겠죠. 왜냐면 나는 아는 사람이 별로 없는데. 어떤 분은 20분을 아시고, 어떤 분은 5분을 아시고, 어떤 분은 한 분밖에 모르실 수도 있습니다. 이런 불만을 어떻게 해소해야 될까요? 예, 앞으로 제가 말씀드릴 그 톡 내용이 어떻게 이분이 그 5분에게 주는 그런 랜덤 프로시저를 어떻게 디자인해야 되는 것인가. 아무도 불만이 없게. 그리고 제가 10번을 얘기했죠? 10번째. 과연 10번이 타당할까요? 100번이 타당할까요? 네, 그런 주제에 대해서 제가 앞으로 얘기를 하겠습니다. 10,000원은 일단. Now, as I explained previously, the main question is X will be Rx with probability exactly 105. X, in other words, X is uniformly distributed among all people. That's the main question, first main question. For that question, as I earlier explained in Korean, how to choose random neighbors to sample uniform distribution among all people. For this question can be reframed as more explained using more formal mathematical notation. This is a local relation graph G, same as before. And this Pij denotes the probability of person I passing a token to its random neighbor j. This is probability between 0 and 1. Now our goal is that this random walk samples a node uniformly at random at large enough round. One naive choice of this Pij is the following. This means that I choose uniformly at random is one of neighbors. Since I has two neighbors, I choose 5 with probability 1 over half, and I choose 2 with probability 1 over half. Now 3 has 3 neighbors, 2, 4, 5. 3 choose 5 with probability 1 over third, and 3 choose 2 with probability 1 over third. As I explained earlier, this random walk samples a node uniformly at random at large enough round, let's say 10 or 100 or 1000. The answer is no, as we expected. Because the theorem tells that if Pij equals Pji, this is symmetric condition, the random walk samples the uniform distribution after large enough round. However, this doesn't satisfy this simple condition. Because P15 is 1 over half. However, P51 is 1 over third. Because 5 has 3 neighbors, but 1 has only 2 neighbors. How can you fix this problem? It can be easily fixable by adding a self-group. Now, node 1 has self-group 1 over third. It means that I keeps the token with this much probability. In the rest of probability, I choose its random neighbor and pass a token. Now all the probability is 1 over third. Therefore, this is trivially satisfied because all the probability is 1 over third. This random walk eventually, after a large enough round, samples a node uniformly abandoned. Of course, one may ask the following question: how many large enough? I will come to that issue later in few slides. Any question? So, yeah, initial one can be arbitrary. Yeah, of course. Yeah, initial you can choose. Initial, it doesn't matter. It doesn't depend on initial state. Yeah, it can be random choice or can be arbitrary. Yeah, random choice is fine. Initial choice is random. Yeah, fine. But yeah. Yeah, for any initial point. So, as I explained earlier, my initial point is 1, but it doesn't depend on that initial point. That's another important aspect of this theorem. Did it answer your question? Oh, yeah. That's a good point. I assume that graph is connected. Yeah. 예. 맞습니다. 예, 맞습니다. 꼭 이게 유일한 솔루션은 아닙니다. 여러 가지 다양한 방법이 있을 수 있는데, 그중 가장 간단한 방법으로 제가, 셀프 사이클을 넣는 방법을, 맞습니다. 꼭 유니폼하게 할 필요도 없습니다. 이 컨디션만 만족되면, 이 랜덤 워크가, large enough 라운드가 지나면 유니폼하게 노드를 셀렉트 할 수 있다는. 예, 그 중요한, 예, 중요한 얘기인데, 제가, 곧 그 주제에 대해서 얘기하도록 하겠습니다. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's another good point. Yeah, this connectivity, and that is formally called that aperiority. Aperiority. Yeah. So even number of cycles. Only this is oscillating between odd node and even node, right? But that problem is still fixable by adding a sample. Okay, yeah, but good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah, among even number of nodes is uniform, but it's not uniform for all nodes. That problem can be also fixable by adding a sample. But I'm not talking about that question because too specific question. So yeah. So far I described a random walk algorithm to sample uniform distribution. Now I go to more general problem, sampling non-uniform distribution. The problem setting is same as before, except for the target non-uniform target distribution pi. Previously, we talked about uniform distribution pi, but one can imagine another distribution pi, non-uniform. 예를 들어서 제가 아까 10,000원을 드린다고 했죠. 근데 제가 더 좋아하시는 분이 있으실 수 있겠고, 제가 이분한테는 더 프리퍼런스를 드리고 싶습니다. 그럴 때 유니폼하게 제가 돈을 드리는 게 아니라 제가 더 좋아하는 분에게 확률이 높게 돈을 드리고 싶을 때 똑같이 이런 랜덤워크를 어떻게 디자인을 해야 될까? 이런 똑같은 문제를 생각할 수 있겠죠? 네. So in this non-uniform case, as I explained before, similar theorem holds. If pi I times pij equal to pi j, pji, in the previous case, pi I equal to pi j, hence this is cancelled. But now this is different. If this local information called detailed balance condition or equation is satisfied, the random walk samples the target distribution, whatever target distribution is, after large enough round. This is non-uniform version of theorem of this theorem. Now we have two questions, as I explained earlier. How to design Pij locally to satisfy this detailed balance condition? And second question is, theorem tells that large enough round. How large enough round? We have two questions. For the first question, this question is essentially not that hard, because this is very easily checkable condition, very simple equation, and very local, only depends on very local information. I is neighbor of j, j is neighbor of I. Based on this local information, it is not that hard to design Pij locally, which satisfies this condition. It is formally called Metropolis-Hastings method. Metropolis-Hastings method is one of methods to construct Pij to satisfy this detailed balance condition. And how many rounds we need is formally called mixing time of this random walk. Now I'm going to explain these two concepts in the real example, in our previous example. This is our previous example, and we have 5 nodes. Suppose we have non-uniform target distribution. how can I design? So this probability is sample's uniform distribution, right? As I explained earlier. Now we have non-uniform target distribution. How can you design Pij to satisfy this detailed balance condition? Metropolis-Hastings rule suggests the following simple designing rule. Metropolis-Hastings suggests that design should Pij equals 1/3 times minimum of these two quantities. Suppose we choose Pij as follows. You plug here, and it's easy to check. This is equal to this one. It's very simple calculus. Any questions? So remember that I need to choose Pij, right? This only depends on pi I and pi j. And pi j is the neighbor of I. Therefore, I can design Pij only local information pi j or pi I. Whatever pi I, pi j are. Now for the second question, how many round need? In general, mixing time is roughly n squared. Here n is number of nodes. This is worst case mixing time. But in good case, mixing time can be depends on log n, which is much smaller than n, or sometimes this can be constant. I'm not going to explain why these quantities are there, but here it is. So far, I describe random walk sampling algorithm for sampling the target distribution. Now I more generalize the problem. Dynamic sampling problem. 메트로폴리스-해스팅 룰은 1950년대 나온 결과고요. 메트로폴리스라는 사람과 해스팅이라는 사람이 두 분이 같은 페이퍼는 아니고 두 페이퍼에서 이런 로컬 룰을 제시한 거고요. 그리고 뭐 오래된 결과라서 훌륭한 결과지만 사실 이 시오렘 상에서는 어떻게 보면 자명한 결과라고 할 수 있습니다. 아마 비슷한 컨셉으로 진행돼서 아마 그렇게 이름 붙여진 것 같습니다. 질문. 결론만 얘기 드리면 없습니다. 메트로폴리스-해스팅 룰이라는 게 이게 뭐 대단한 물론 훌륭한 결과지만 어떻게 원리를 알고 가면 되게 자명한 룰이거든요. 그래서 뭐 이 이외에 어떤 다른 더 에피션트한 룰을 만든다는 게 사실 별로 의미가 없다고 얘기하면 좀 너무 그렇지만 그렇습니다. Now I'm going to talk about more general problem, dynamic sampling problem. Now setup is same as before. Only difference is now target distribution is time varying. It is changing over time. The goal is same. I need to design Pij using local information to sample this time varying time over time. The setup is same as before, only difference is time varying target distribution. The question is possible. If you recall the Metropolis-Hastings rule, this is Metropolis-Hastings rule, right? Pij only depends on pi j and pi I. even though pi j and pi I is time varying, still I can design such rule to select its neighbor. This Metropolis-Hastings rule is still applicable in this dynamic setup. The question is, it is indeed sample time varying pi. Before saying the theorem, I'm going to convey the general intuition for this problem. Suppose pi is very quickly changing. Inverse of mixing time, here t is mixing time. This Metropolis-Hastings rule still samples the time varying target distribution after large enough round. This is a non-trivial condition, but intuitively makes sense. Because pi is very slowly changing, this rule still samples the target distribution. I'm going to quickly explain why this condition occurs. Suppose this is a space of probability distribution, and this is pi. Pi is here, and I denote ut is actual distribution at time t of random walk. Initially, mu0 is here and pi 0 is here. Suppose if pi is fixed, eventually this mu converges pi. It takes t times mixing time, from the definition of mixing time. However, my pi 1 may run away. Now suppose that pi is not changing between 0 and 1, then pi mu0 keep towards pi 0. This is line. If pi 0 is fixed, mu0 keep towards mu1 keep towards pi 0. Roughly 1 over t amount. Because total number of distance is t. And 1 unit time, it keeps towards 1 over t. However, pi 0 may run away pi 1 by delta pi. Again, mu2 keep towards pi 1 by 1 over t. However, pi 2 may run away. This gives some naive intuition, which says that if speed of mu is greater than speed of pi, eventually mu catch up pi and move together. So speed of mu is, as I said, 1 over t. Speed of pi is delta pi. So if this condition satisfied, this Metropolis-Hastings rule eventually catch up time varying pi and sample that time varying distribution. All the t, yeah, exactly. There can be many methods to measure this pi t. So pi t is non-trivial question how to measure. Delta pi. So total derivation method distance is one of such method, but one of such distance, but you can think about chi-square distance or entropy distance. It depends on which distance, which probability space are here, and which distance, how can you define but you know that T also depends on that distance, right? If you think about same distance, right. For any concept, this is any distance. This is true. Yeah. In summary, sampling using local information is possible using a random walk, and to sample the desired target distribution, detailed balance condition provides an easily checkable sufficient condition. And Metropolis-Hastings method is a construction technique for guaranteeing this detailed balance condition. And this detailed balance condition and Metropolis-Hastings are still applicable to dynamic sampling problem with time-varying target distribution. This is the summary of my background of sampling and Metropolis-Hastings method. Any questions? And now I go to the real problem. How can I apply to real that problem, media access control? So this is a wireless network. So wireless network has collection of n queues. Here there are 5 queues, and packet arrive the queues and leave the queue. If these 2 queues are very close, their transmission might interfere. However, these 2 queues are far away with each other, then it is okay. These 2 queues can transmit simultaneously. This interfering constructs define implicitly network interference graph in the sense that if 2 queues share an edge, they cannot transmit simultaneously. These 2 queues cannot transmit simultaneously, but these 2 queues can transmit simultaneously. Now the question is, which node or which queue should transmit simultaneously using local information, so that some form of performance is high, not compromised. This is called media access control problem in wireless network. I will explain this question more formally using mathematical notation. Here G represents interference graph of queues. And this Qt is vector of Q at time t. And I assume that extraneous arrival random vector lambda, which is 0 1 vector. It means that Qit increased by 1 with probability lambda I for every discrete time, which means that arriving process is the early process. For the departure of Q, this sigma t is vector of 0 1 vector of n q's beside the departure of Q. If sigma it is equal to 1, it means that Qi is transmitting at time t. If it is 0, it means that it doesn't transmit at time t. From this interference condition, this vector of sigma t is always in this independent cell. As I explained earlier, sigma node Qi and Qj cannot transmit simultaneously at the same time. It means that this is 0 or 1, both cannot be 1. This sigma t is always in this independence constraint. In summary, this equation summarizes all this setup. If you like discrete version, qit plus 1 is qt plus at minus sigma t. Here a is arriving number of packets arrived at time t, and sigma t is number of depart at time t. Therefore, this is plus, this is minus. But you can also think about the continuous version. This is plus, minus, but this is integral. But essentially, these two versions is not that different. But our algorithm will be in continuous version, but one can easily convert our algorithm to discrete version. Any questions? So now what is goal? Now goal is to design, to choose this sigma t so that q size becomes small. The goal is scheduling algorithm is equal to decision of this sigma t, which node should transmit at time t. Of course, scheduling algorithm should be distributed, efficient, and high performance. High performance means that keeps q size finite for largest possible arrived vector lambda. This is called throughput optimality. This type of creation has extensively studied from RLS system in 1973, but there is no known such algorithm. As an example of previous work, I'm going to explain one of such popular algorithms, which is called max rate algorithm. This is a network of 5 cubes, and q size is given like this. The q size of 3 is 45, and q size 2 is 30. The max rate algorithm suggests that choose a valid collection of q's at each time so that their summation is maximized. For example, in this case, max rate algorithm choose node 1 and 2 because their summation 30 plus 30, 60 is maximum among all possible scheduled subsets. So this equation formally mathematically explains this suggestion. This algorithm is known as have high performance throughput optimal, but this is very hard question. How can you solve this problem? This is NP hard problem. This algorithm suggests that you need to solve NP hard problem at every time t. This is very hard to implement. Very high complexity for implementation. Because how high complexity? Yeah, exponential time you need for each time. Yes, just exponential. Or yeah, it depends on how much time you need to solve this max rate problem, but NP complete. Yeah, NP complete. Yeah. A similar algorithm is known, called F max rate algorithm. This algorithm is same as before, but only this red part is different. This is now you can think of any function f, and you select schedule so that this quantity is maximized. In the previous case, this function is just f is equal to x. This is the generalization of Maxwell's algorithm, but still hard to implement because this is still hard problem. This is our algorithm, which is very simple to describe, very easy to implement. Yeah. Our algorithm our algorithm has, each Q has independent exponential clock of rate 1. It means that suppose I have exponential clock of random clock of rate 1 means that clock ticks in random sense. The interval between these two consecutive clocks is distributed as exponential random variable, but with mean 1. And suppose the clock of the Qi ticks at time t. Then first I check whether the medium is free or not. Here medium is free or not means that I check that whether neighbor is transmitting or not. If no neighbor is transmitting, it changes its local schedule with following simple rule. Another case, do nothing. Here, f is some function will be decided later, but basically very simple function. So this algorithm only depends on very local information. Only needs whether its neighbor is transmitting or not. Only needs its own Q size. Therefore, very easy to implement. This is an example of my algorithm, but I'm going to skip this slide then. And we prove that this algorithm is throughput optimal if we choose f clearly. So we will choose f is log f and prove that our algorithm is throughput optimal. It means that high performance, as like Maxwell's algorithm. We use, in the proof, we use dynamic version of Metropolis-Hastings method, but due to time constraint, I'm going to quickly explain why we need log x. You may ask, how about other functions? Log x or loop x or just x? But our theorem tells that if we choose f, which is lower than log x, then our algorithm is throughput optimal. I'm going to skip this slide. The last part is just proof, rough proof intuition, but basically what I want to say is our algorithm is time-varying Markov chain method on the random work on the independent cell. And if you recall this theorem, this condition is satisfied. Time-varying Metropolis-Hastings load samples the desired target distribution. And in our case, this quantity is something like that, and this quantity is one over exponential of q. For that reason, we choose log to guarantee this condition. And our algorithm is time-varying dynamic version of Metropolis-Hastings method. And if we choose log x, and our algorithm indeed samples that time-varying stationary distribution, and this implies that our algorithm eventually samples f Maxwell schedule. And if any algorithm samples f Maxwell schedule, it is easy to argue that this algorithm is throughput optimal. I assume that if you have more question, but Yeah, this is the end of proof. If you have any question, yeah. Yeah. So here, if you use log here, f is anything, any increasing function. Yeah, more general. Yeah, this is more general, but hard to implement. Yeah, complexity is just constant because, as you see this algorithm description, any node just do the trivial thing. Just this complexity, if you want complexity is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Just that of complexity. Very local and simple rule. Right? Yeah, we just do constant number of logic operations for each time. For all time. For even for all time domain. Yeah, eventually. Yeah, that's right. Eventually. Oh, yeah, that's the explanation. That is the explanation. But the main goal is just keep Q is finite. But Q can be exponential, but that's fine. The goal is to keep Q's finite. Finite number can be doubly exponential or exponential, but that's fine. Yeah, this is the conclusion, and thank you.